For the record, Daryl Perry, CEO of Liberty Lobby LLC, officially taking no position on the bill. I'm definitely in favor of modifying the form of election that we have. I do have some concerns about this bill as written, specifically that it does not state which round of voting is used for the purposes of ballot access. Currently, the law for ballot access is that a party that receives 4% of the vote for either governor or U.S. Senate is then granted ballot access. This bill does not specify if we use the initial count or if we use the final count after candidates are eliminated. So it's very possible, depending on which count gets used, that either parties such as the Libertarians either retain or lose ballot access. There are also some concerns because of some of the very sizable districts that we have for multi-member. The ballot, I'm not sure how the ballot would necessarily be laid out, because I know in other places that use ranked choice voting, they have circles that specify 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. So for that 11-member district that Representative Hellwig mentioned, are we going to have 11 bubbles next to each candidate's name? I do believe strongly that at the very least this should be turned into a study committee so that you could look at not just ranked choice voting, but also what is used down in Australia called the single transferable vote, could look strongly at approval voting unless you decide to actually OTP, HB1540. And to answer a question by Representative Damaris where you mentioned about the points for first place gets X number of points, that would be what's called Borda count, to where, again, first place would get a certain number of points, second place gets a different number of points, third place, etc., and then you combine those points. That's called Borda count. Also something that I think if you do turn this into a study committee should be strongly looked at. And again, I understand the concerns for those hand count ballot towns to where it might take a little bit of extra time. But I'm not opposed to the bill. I'm just not as strongly in favor as I could be if this bill had some tweaks, and I'll answer any questions.
It's a Mary.
And I just want to point out that Representative Reed did point out to me that page 4, lines 6 through 9 do show that for the purposes of ballot access, it's the initial count, the first round. Thank you.